Spring has finally arrived on the fourth day, if you will. Yeah, finally, the ground temperature is actually above freezing, and it's above freezing today as well, air temperature-wise. And it's a little bit warmer, but with the ground temperature above freezing, I can actually start mowing some grass. That's kind of the plan for today. I'm hoping that the grass will turn to hay, but I'm expecting that it won't. If I take a reading here, yeah, the crop moisture is at 37%. That is really high. I mean, if I go ahead and mow the grass, it's going to be wet grass. It's not even going to be dry grass, which means I have to ted it and wait for it. So I'm really fighting myself trying to figure out what I want to do here, because it is the fourth day of spring. I expect tomorrow the ground temperature to be above freezing. Let's dive in and see what the temperature is supposed to be today. It's supposed to be up to the low 50s, and that is pretty good for ground temperature to get up there. So yeah, I don't see us. I need the hay for sure, but I don't see where it's actually going to work in our benefit to cut that grass, because I have to ted it, and then I'll have to wait like maybe 10 hours for it to turn to dry grass. And then I'll have to wait another 10 hours for it to maybe turn to hay, if we're lucky. If we're lucky. And I do believe there is rain in the forecast, or did they change that? I did not get no snow on the second day of spring, so that helped us out quite a bit. Yeah, there's no rain in the forecast for a while. As much as I need the hay, I think I'm just going to have to forego the hay, and we're just going to get right to plowing those fields over there today. So what I need to do is I need to wait like a couple hours. I need the store to open. I already called Wayne a while ago, midwinter, told him what my plans were for the spring. And instead of using our plow that we have in here, the 4-meter wide, I got such a big area. I think we're going to go ahead and I went ahead and leased a bigger tractor, and we're also going to lease a plow as well. So I need to wait until at least 8 o'clock for the store to open so I can go in there and sign papers for leasing today. So yeah, as much as I would like to cut the grass and have it turn to hay, it's just too far off to wait for it to turn to hay. Then I gotta, it's a long process, and I need to turn that quote unquote grass field over until a field that we can seed here, hopefully tomorrow. Yes, traffic is back going here on the map as well. The roads are back open. People are getting down to the sawmill. They got a lot of logs. I did cut a few more trees down in between last episode and this episode as well, so that's why the money is up a little bit. But now with the factories going, the carton factory, the furniture factory, I'll have to go down there and take care of those once in a while. But yeah, I gotta wait a little while. Hopefully Wayne gets in a little bit early this morning. Maybe I might as well walk on down, because like I said, I'm releasing a tractor. I'll stop by Dunkin' Donuts. I think Elaine's working there today. Get myself a cup of coffee, and then mosey on, wait for Wayne to show up at the store. And yeah, I'll meet you over at the fields with our leased tractor and leased plow that we're going to have. Well, it is now 9 o'clock, and before we come over here and plow, or create fields with the plow, I need to bring the Case Puma over here with our wonderful little stump grinder. Go around and look at the stumps I could not see because of the snow. This is actually the first day that has been no snow on the ground, so I have been able to come over here and check. I assumed there was going to be a few of them, and yeah, there are a few of them. I've already done about maybe 9, 10 of them, something like that. And I got, well, you can see them popping up everywhere here and there. So definitely want to take care of these while before we plow. It is kind of a shame a little bit. I'm still fighting myself, but I can't see any real benefit of trying to cut this grass and make really good use of it. Yes, I could also cut the grass and go ahead and compact and make silage, but I got plenty of silage, and it's not like I need to sell the silage and make silage to make money, because, well, we got $1.7 million in the bank account. So our tractor is over here. It's over by the shed over here, and also the plow is as well. Leasing the equipment for the first hour of use has cost me $30,000, which is, it's not really a big thing, but I figure I'll let you know. The first hour it costs us to lease the stuff is $30,000. So, but it's going to be worth it. We'll get the fields in quicker, hopefully. That's the case, and I could use a tractor that I have not used yet. And I'll show you in just a little while what it is. But like I said, first thing I want to do is I want to clear these stumps out of here. Nothing would be worse than going around with a subsoiler and getting stuck on the stumps as it is. Yeah, so I end up cutting about maybe another 90 trees, I think I did in the last couple days of spring. And I said, that's good enough for now. I probably am going to send the tree harvester down to the mechanic shop, and they'll probably do an overhaul on it. Not an overhaul, but check the engine oil, all that stuff. I do have 30 hours on it, so probably be a good idea to get, the oil changed, filters changed, have them, sharpen the blades on the saws. All that stuff that tree harvester needs, because for the next couple of days, yep, we're going to be going ahead and creating some fields, seeding some fields. Probably tomorrow, which is the 5th day of spring, I'm hoping the temperature skyrockets a little bit, and also the ground temperature as well. So I need to be at least above 41 or 42 to plant oats and wheat. Temperature needs to be 50 degrees for corn, and potatoes I think can be relatively on the cool side, so maybe low 40s as well. Like I said, I would like to do some potatoes, but I'll leave that crop until last. We'll see how the time goes when we start seeding tomorrow. At least that's the plan. Today's plan is just start prepping the fields. The ground temperature will not go up during the day. The ground temperature will not change until it's like at dawn, I think, in the seasons. That's when it changes. So you'll never see the ground temperature rise up during the day, even though the temperature is pretty warm. Man, I got more stumps around here than I thought. I'm just going to take a little trip down to this corner here just to make sure all the stumps are gone. Nope, there is one down here. There are some little snow patches here and there from where we plowed, or where we piled up the snow, but that is to be expected. But let me go ahead. I got more. I thought this wouldn't take too long to take care of the stumps, but man, I got a lot more stumps here than I thought. And I'm guessing when we subsoil this ground here, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if I find more of them later on. Well, I think I got most of the stumps taken care of. Like I said, I'm sure we'll find some. But I'm probably going to have this as a thumbnail anyway. So, yes, it's the John Deere 9R, which is from the Borgalt pack, the latest DLC from John Deere. So, yeah, if you go ahead and get that DLC, you can get this John Deere right here. I got the biggest engine in it. If we go into the shop, I can show you exactly, because I forgot the horsepower. I think it's 640 horse. Yep, so this is from the Borgalt pack. I did put the 3-meter tracks on there. And like I said, I also put the 670 horsepower engine in there. So I definitely want enough horsepower because this needs 420 horsepower. And this is the Agricem plow, the subsoiler. Let's fire this thing up. Don't need to let the engine warm up. Don't really care. It's not mine, so we're fine. Let's go ahead and we'll unfold that. Let's turn this on so I make sure I'm on Allow Create Fields, which we will. Turn that off. Now we do have to plow the field as well because last year we had corn in it. So, need to plow it again. But that was all part of the plan anyways. So let's go ahead and lower that down. Like I said, I kind of want to have a few fields around here. Not just one huge big field, but the plan is to have at least 3. Of course, with Allow Create Fields, I may get this field bigger than I want it to be up here. I would like to have a road going across the top, so I may skim myself a little bit. But let's expand it. Let's just go like to maybe out about here. And then down this way. Seems all good. And here's the grass that we could have cut today, but with the crop moisture and the grass being around, up in the 30%, that's quite a lot. Probably shouldn't get too close to these trees, but who knows? Maybe I'll be cutting some more trees down in the summertime But I'm going to try to avoid this area in the summertime. I want to get down to the beach and start expanding that a little bit. So also after we get these fields done, before we seed them, I definitely want to going to put fertilizer down first, and then we'll put some lime down, and then when we seed the fields again, that'll be the second stage of fertilization. Let's not get too close to the road. Let's leave ourselves some space here. And also I should probably mention that the deal has gone through for the harvesters. Yeah, the other farmer is going to take our Case International because he was looking for a smaller harvester. And we are going to take the John Deere harvester that we used last fall. The only thing is I owe him an extra $100,000 because his harvester is worth more than our Case International is worth. And I'm kind of fine with that. We used a harvester. It seemed to work rather well. So we've already kind of taken it for a test drive. So we know it's pretty darn good. And I think it'll fit our needs rather well. Now that we're actually getting decent sized fields here, that harvester will definitely come in handy, and the headers, when it comes time to harvest, won't look as silly as it did kind of last fall, because we were done in no time harvesting those fields. Still not going to take us that long to harvest these fields. I mean, they are going to be bigger. That's for darn sure. I mean, this cornfield alone is going to be definitely double the size. The question is, what do I do with all the corn? I could either... right now I'm kind of storing it. Because right now, we're just waiting for a great demand or something. I don't really need to sell the crop to get the cash. Cash, as we can see, is definitely not an issue. So I can wait for a great demand, or maybe I'll use it for something else at some point. Don't know. So this will be field 1 of 3. So this one probably will be corn again. The middle one might be the wheat, and the far one on the other side might be potatoes. That's kind of my thought process. As for the other fields that we have, well, I am thinking I actually might make the field over by, well, in front of our farm, if you will, where we have grass as it is. It's not a grass field, but it's technically grass. I'm actually thinking about maybe plowing all that as well and making that field just a grass field itself. So we'll just mow it like once a year in like summertime. I should get a better yield because it's technically a field, so it'll benefit from fertilizer and all that fun stuff. And yeah, by mowing it in the summertime when there's a good chance, well, it should be, I would say a good chance, but a really good chance of it turning to hay, the grass will start growing. So when springtime comes, it'll already have grown back a little bit as well. So that's kind of my thought process of what we're going to be doing. Now that we know we got plenty of oats for the horses. We're fine on oats for a while, and now with these fields over here, yeah, I think we're more than good to go on maybe making a grass field. Especially if we're going to do more cows, I definitely am going to need a field for grass to make some hay. I should also mention, as for our animals, I did feed the animals yesterday morning, the 3rd day of spring. And yes, the sheep are, I say I'm producing wool, but the sheep are producing wool, so we're good to go. And I also think we've actually got a couple more sheep. I think we're up to 13 sheep, maybe, somewhere around there, and we should be getting another calf coming along here pretty soon, so that means more milk. So the animals are doing what they're meant to do. That's why we have them. I'm starting to grow some concerns a little bit. The fields are starting to look bigger than I thought they would be. My concern is our seed roll. It might be a tad on the small side, actually. I know I always said let's try to stay small on small equipment, but that's why I'm only leasing the 9R and the subsoiler today. Not something I want to use all the time. I mean, Usually we're going to only have to maybe plow or subsoil maybe 1 or 2 fields a year. But since they were doing 3 decent sized ones, I figured we go ahead and lease it. And we got the cash. That's not, like I said, it's not an issue. But yeah, my only growing concern is our seed roll maybe on the small side to be seeding these kind of size fields. The one thing I have noticed, and I haven't seen one yet, is I figured by now I would run across a stump somewhere that I have not cut. Oh, no, I see one. I see one. There's one right there. And what I'm going to do is, while I see it, right there, let me go grab the Puma and take care of it now. That way we don't have an issue when it comes time to seeding, harvesting, or whatever. And plus it'll be gone. So I'm also thinking about maybe getting a bigger spreader as well. Just because it'll be quicker. We're getting more fields, so yes, we need to take care of it. There it is. I see it now. Right there. And stump be gone. And here is our first of 3 fields complete. Let's go ahead and lift that up. So this will be a cornfield, and yeah, it's pretty decent sized field for sure. Let's go ahead and start making field number 2. Like I said, I want to leave some space on top because I like to have a road going across the top here. That's how we're going to get access to our fields. So if I need to work in field number 2 here in the center and there's crop in these fields, I just can't drive across it. Alright, so somewhere we'll just drive across like this. And somewhere right about here should be good. Just make sure I leave myself enough room up there. The way I drive, I need the extra room. And eventually the trees to the right will be gone as well. And if that's the case, we can always expand the field later on. Alright, so let's just cut down. Yeah, we'll cut down here. Now the third field I don't want to be that big, because if it's going to be root crop, I definitely don't want it to be too big, because we're going to get tons of yield off of it. Main thing is just get the border going for this field here, and once I get that, then I can drive a little bit more without paying attention. I mean, I'm paying attention now, but the way I drive, though, you never know. I'm always taking my eyes off the screen, checking some other things. So same thing here. Let's try to leave a little bit of a path in between. Yeah, I was kind of hoping, I was like, yep, it'd be a great day to mow the grass. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I forgot about the wet grass, dry grass scenario. What's the situation with the grass? And I was like, yep. Grass is extremely wet, so I have to wait for it to turn to dry grass before it turns to hay. It's not just a one lapse process. It's supposed to be a decent drying day as well. In the afternoon hours, we did have a plus symbol. But then again, last fall we had a plus symbol, and the grass never turned to hay either. So there's always that. So instead of just, like I said, I'll be wasting time. I could be prepping the fields. And like I said, I don't really need grass for silage, but the hay would be nice. So I think what we'll do here is after we finish plowing these fields here, I will take the John Deere over, and since we got this plow as well, we'll go ahead and expand the field over there to be all grass. Well, it'll be a field. I'll have to plant grass, and it'll start growing. hopefully by when fall comes, we can get some grass out of it, turned to hay, if we're lucky. Let's go ahead and get field number 2 done here, and then we can move on to the third and final field, at least in this section.
I was falling through the air. No one but myself to hold my hand. Standing in the shadows of where we have been. Sleeping with your back facing me. I know this isn't us. Baby, pull me closer, let's fall in love. Oh, I can feel my body move to every move you make. And I can feel the tension every time we're close. I know whatever happens, I will have you next to me. 'Cause tonight we have it all. 'Cause we're dancing as one. 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 We've been into places all at once. What's that what we said will come undone? Feels like our minds have been turned off. Haven't seen each other for so long. I know this isn't us. Baby, pull me closer, let's fall in love. Oh, I can feel my body move to every move you make. And I can feel the tension every time we're close. I know whatever happens, I will have you next to me. 'Cause tonight we have it all. 'Cause we're dancing as one. 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 You and me are moving. Make sure we get through this. Let's just keep on dancing as one.
Well, now when I say I got some field work to do, I will actually have some field work to do. These fields are actually, like I said before episodes ago, now it's starting to, you don't know how big the fields are going to be, I think, until you put them down or make the fields. Now you can kind of see how big the fields are. Let's just step outside of the John Deere here for a second, and let's fly on up here. Yeah, these are decent sized fields, actually. Now that you got some contrast between the different soil textures, you can actually see, the cornfield's pretty decent size, the wheat field's going to be decent size, and for potatoes, that is actually a pretty big field as well. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's taking me 3 hours to do this, which is not bad, but we are subsoiling at 17 miles an hour. When it comes time to seed, it's going to take a little bit longer than that, for sure, because I think our seed roll may seed at 9 miles an hour. But the thing is, I'm not going to be seeding all these fields on the same day because the ground temperature needs to be at a certain temperature for each individual crop. So, yeah, I guess we'll just see how it goes. But let's use the seed drill that we have. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I think it'll be fine. I say that now. But if it becomes an issue, then maybe we'll have to look into something bigger for next season. But for this season, we'll have to stick with the seed drill that we have. I'm pretty sure if I order a seed drill now, I'm not going to get one in time anyways. Not the best time to be ordering a seed drill in the springtime when everyone needs them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head on over to the farm itself. And where we had oats last year, we're going to expand that field, and we're going to plow it all in, subsoil it in, and we're going to plant some grass in it this year. And probably just be our main grass field so we can get some hay going. The rest of the fields are going to stay the same size they were. They don't need plowing at all. They don't need lime either. The 3 fields that we did, I'm going to lime all those completely after we fertilize them. I just remember there's traffic on the road now. It has been traffic for a few days, so I'm used to no traffic. But I have to keep in mind, though, there's cars going about now. The trees are looking much better with leaves on them, of course. 4th day of spring, would expect that. see no traffic anywhere. So this is where we've been getting our hay. So I think when summer comes, whatever the stage of grass is in may only be like 67% grown. We may go ahead and just harvest it, and that way it can start growing through fall. And then when next spring comes, it won't be fully grown. I don't know how grass is going to grow in this map. Each map is going to be different. Well, it's actually not the map, it's the geo that you're using. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to grow, but yep, anyways, one more field to make, or finish off, I should say, because this one's already here. But this one shouldn't take me too long either. But we are going to get, you might be saying, well, why are you, if there's grass already here, why are you making a field to put grass in it? You actually will get more of a yield off of a field rather than just growing a regular grass field itself. Yeah, just because you get to put fertilizer down, and I guess the extra bonuses from it, that's all. But it's not going to take me too long to take care of this, so let me get this done. Then I'm hoping I can get this done in pretty soon, because my hour, I don't want to say my hour is almost up, but if I go over the hour, then I'm going to have to pay another additional fee, and I would not like to do that. I mean, I got the cash, but I don't want to spend the money if I don't have to. And there we go. Now we have a grass field in the making. That should be pretty good. I mean, I would assume I could get 20. Would I get 20 bales of grass off of this? Or hopefully by then it'll be hay. But yeah, I think we can make 20 bales off that at 4,000 liters apiece. So I need to get the John Deere back to the shop, so I don't have to pay on the extra hour. Same thing with the subsoiler. I'm going to get this back. I'm going to go into the shop, talk to Wayne, talk about getting a bigger fertilizer and lime spreader. I may actually just lease the lime spreader, because I only need it like every 3 years. So I may just lease that and just buy the fertilizer spreader. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. And I'll catch you next time right here on Green Mountain Forest. But until then, have a good one.